Hey everyone, it's Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast.
Lunch with Norm.
All right, so on today's show, we're going to be talking about growing a seven-figure brand through micro-influencers. Our guest, a fellow Canadian, based in Montreal, is an entrepreneur and agency owner. Currently, he divides his time between being a co-founder at inBeat Agency and founder and CEO at Breeze.co. At his agency inBeat, he helps brands leverage thousands of collaborations with micro-influencers. So our guest, first time on the podcast, David Morneau. But before we get to David, let's have a word from our sponsor. I wanted to give a quick shout out and say thank you to Global Wired Advisors for sponsoring this episode of Lunch with Norm. Global Wired Advisors is a leading digital investment bank focused on optimizing the business sales process. For more information, please call Chris Schifferling and his team over at globalwiredadvisors.com. All right. Before I bring in Kelsey, I'm going to grab it because he always says this. But hey, welcome everybody. I already see there's a bunch of people here. Rana, welcome. Welcome Jessica from Miami. We know that's really Roz. Andrew from Georgia. Rad, how's it all going? All right. If you have any questions, make sure you ask. I love influencer-based marketing. And if you're not doing it, this is definitely the podcast to hear. Okay, let's bring in the boy wonder, Squire Kelsey.
That's me. Hello. Have you noticed anything different?
I noticed that you looked younger.
Yeah, I think I lost about 20 years with
You're like
mustache
12
gone.
now. Around 12, I would say.
All right, I'll take it. Anyways, hope everyone is doing well. Good to see everyone. Let us know if you're watching in the comments sections. I'll be hanging out there during the show. But to get this thing going, smash those like buttons. Share this out to anyone who would be interested in learning about micro-influencers, how to get started, where to look to. This is going to be a great episode. I'm going to try and tackle as much as possible. Let me see. Yes.
When you say it's going to be a great episode, would you say it with some meaning? Like you mean it? It's going to be a great episode.
It's pronounced episode.
Episode. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Episode.
All right. There. You're gonna. I don't know. But also just want to let everyone know, if you didn't catch Monday's episode, Lauren Petrullo offered up another hour of consultation time for those who write a review for us. So if you're interested, I'm going to put some links in. If you want to write us a review or record a video testimony for us, you'll be entered into a bonus Wheel of Kelsey that we'll do on Friday. So more information in the comments section. So just hang out there. But if you're looking for a replay,
if you didn't hear that podcast, that giveaway that she's giving away is incredible. I mean, she's incredible at what she does.
Yeah, definitely. So we got lots going on. Good to see Steven and Abu and Nathan. Yeah, only 335 days till the next Movember. Start your countdown. All right, and Marina, welcome. So if you have questions, over in the comment sections, but we can get started.
All right, and I see Abu's on here too. Are you going to that Christmas party that Tim Jordan and the gang are going to? Just wondering. I know that you're over in London, so just wondering if you're heading over. But okay, let's get started. If you got any questions, throw them over in the comments section. And now, sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, and enjoy the show. Welcome, fellow Canadian David.
Hello, Norm. Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here. Getting cold over there too, eh?
Oh, I'm freezing my butt off today. Yeah. I've got my hands around my cup of coffee, and it's just the cold air is coming through the windows, and it's just
But happens gradually, then suddenly, right? And then it's
just a damp cold. But anyways, why am I in Canada?
Nice place to be.
It is. But I want heat.
Yeah.
For those of us who don't know you, could you just give us a bit more information about what you do and who you are, what you do?
Sure. So essentially, I'm CEO and co-founder of inBeat Agency and inBeat.co, which is a database product that people use to find micro influencers and influencers for that matter at scale. We have contact information for a bunch of influencers. We provide you with that. And those are the two things I do. We help you by doing it ourselves, kind of a white glove solution, and we provide you with the tools so you can do it yourself if you have the resources and time to do it. That's essentially what we do in a nutshell.
All right. So let's start off, let's dig into it. First of all, for the people who don't know, like, what are influencers? What do they do?
So essentially, influencers are just people. I mean, we look at influence as like the ability to have influence on someone's buying decision. That's at the core of it. So anyone that falls in that definition will be an influencer to us. Then, if we extend that, we have nano influencers that are going to be the smaller types. They can have 100 followers for all that care, as long as their followers believe in them, trust them, and so forth. And for micro influencers, we typically look at influencers with a follower range of 10,000 to 25,000 followers on Instagram. So it's kind of like the quick definition. There's a lot of nuance to it. The industry hasn't, settled on a definition yet. But yeah, that's where we stand.
There's a lot of Amazon sellers that they've heard about influencers and how to use them and how to get lifestyle photos and all this other stuff. But why use them?
So three reasons that we see, sales, they can drive sales to your store. Direct promotion, promo code, here's the products, display, and so forth. Content, really great way to create content. We're talking product shots, videos, testimonial videos, really good way to do that at an affordable price, and market research, right? So what we extend to with micro influencers is that we typically ask them an array of questions where it's like, hey, how would you promote this product? Which product should we release next? What have you bought recently that you're super excited about? So forth, right? So really good way to dig into that. The hypothesis behind the kind of market research model is that these micro influencers spend a lot of time on social media. They have a pulse on the trend, and that's how that kind of expands. That service was born by accident on our side when like a company came to us and like, hey, we want to run a focus groups with micro influencers. And we're like, well, that's a pretty cool idea. And then we ran that, and we just derived tons of amazing insights. And we were like, okay, like we can use micro influencers to gather market insights. So yeah, that's about it.
So you're using it for focus groups.
Yeah, we did a focus group with micro influencers for positioning of a specific campaign. How should we position it, and so forth. And that was an interesting.
Cost wise, like I've always gone to other types of companies, other types of apps for this. I really haven't used micro or nano influencers for focus groups. What kind of cost is associated with that?
So you need a moderator, right? That can run you like on a cost level that can run you $100 per hour to a couple $100 per hour, give or take, right? That's just what the cost is going to be. Then the influencer, you can pay them what you'd pay them in terms of a typical collaboration that can run you, anywhere from $100 to $400 depending per participant. So give or take, right? And that's really just it can be all over the place. And then if you're working with an agency, you have to factor in kind of the agency fees in there. But it's interesting, right? Because you can say, okay, we want to see how our message can land with Hispanics in California. And let's get some Hispanic micro influencers in California. Let's run a focus group with them, and then let's see where that comes.
So I like at towards the end, we're going to talk a bit more about your platform inBeat.
Yeah.
But for people who want to go out and find their own nano influencers, like where do they start? Are there just general platforms? How do they search for them?
Yeah. So, I mean, of course, as you said, right, there's databases like ours that exist out there that allow you to do that. I don't recommend using a database like that if you're only looking to work with a couple nano micro influencers. So if you're looking to work with just a couple nano or micro influencers, then look into your followers that you have already on your social media. Do you have any customers that are potentially nano or micro influencers? That's where I'd start looking and ask them to create content, look at who's resonating, give them a discount if they post something on social media. That would be kind of my first part of the hunt. And then second part would be like, okay, what are the hashtags, right? I know that a lot of products are like, hey, we target moms. Well, go and look at moms on Instagram, and then maybe go by location, and then just manually scout Instagram till you find influencers that are like, wow, this is a good influencer, their content's good, and then I'm just going to reach out to them. Email addresses are always available on the, well, not always, but most likely available on the Instagram app. And additionally, a lot of influencers will include it in their bio just to get, they want those deals too. So, yeah.
Right. So when you're reaching out to an influencer, is it something that's a one and done, or are you trying to build like a long-term relationship with them?
Yeah, look, I'm a numbers guy. I love kind of like the numbers approach to things. I'm pretty sure a lot of your audiences too. It's just, I look at it from like, okay, let's work with 100 of them, right? And then let's see who's our top performers. Let's identify these people. And top performer, I mean, they drove sales, they created amazing content, and they're easy to communicate with. And that third point looks subtle, but makes the world difference when you're looking to collaborate with them on an ongoing basis. If they can't deliver on time like they say they will, and you're managing 100 of them, just try imagining what it's going to look like when you're trying to activate your kind of network of micro influencers for a new product release. So ease of communication, quality of content, sales driven. That's how I'd evaluate them. And we funnel down, start with 100 and then end with 20, run another batch, start with 100, end with 20, and so forth, right? And yeah.
Luckily today I took my brain supplements and I'm thinking a little clearer than normal, but we have a giveaway today and it's an awesome giveaway. You want to just describe what it is?
Yeah, so essentially giveaway is we're going to give 1 year of inBeat, the brand plan, which is a $80 value per month, so 960 value total. Yeah, to anyone who, I guess you decide what the giveaway parameters are. I'll let you talk on that.
We will. So yeah, so it's $1,000 basically for the giveaway. And I mean, first of all, David, thank you. It's awesome. We asked them for, a quick giveaway. He goes, oh, how about if I give away $1,000? Yep. Thank you very much. So it's going to be, for those of you first time listening to the podcast, it's hashtag Wheel of Kelsey. And if you want to enter twice, it's going to be just tag 2 people and hopefully they comment. All right. So the other thing, we got lots to talk about today. Working with influencers. Most of the people on this podcast are Amazon or e-commerce based people. How do we work with them? How do we get outside of the focus group? What do you see a seller using? How should I say this? The benefit of an influencer using your platform or just reaching out to influencers?
Yeah, so benefit is, drive sales to the platform, to your platform directly. You can, for instance, let me give you an activation use case, right?
Yep.
We work with mothers, right, to promote. Give me an Amazon product that you have on top of your head, and then let's start
bully
from there.
Sticks.
What are bully sticks? God, that was I didn't expect.
Dried bull penis.
Okay, so let's say who's our target audience? So adjustable market, dogs. Okay, so we're looking at pet lovers, right? And then what are the benefits of that, right?
It's a healthy nutritional snack. Not
so
for humans.
We're looking for pet owners, and we're selling this bull penis on Amazon, and we're just looking for pet owners that could promote that. So essentially what we do is we can go look into Instagram or into a tool like ours to find influencers, build kind of a basic list of like, okay, these influencers could be legit. And then are they better for a certain breed than others? That's quite easy because Instagram people just tag their dog breeds like there's no tomorrow. So very easy to kind of categorize dogs by breeds. And then after that, we build our ideal kind of influencer list, make them 10 to 25,000. And then we go and we say, hey, dog owners, we'd love to, pay you and send you our Nutrimit supplement. And, we send that their way and we negotiate with them, right? Okay, how much are they charging? What should we pay them? That depends. And the best way to do it is, contact a bunch of them. Then you'll get a good understanding of the price. And whatever price they say that it's too much. That's just a baseline of negotiation. You just always say that it's too much and see where they can land. And then after that, collaborate with a bunch of influencers, right? and then give them a promo code that they can share with their audience. So the way I recommend doing promo code activations is, in not adding it directly to the description of the post, read the caption. Sorry, the reason is that gets scraped. You get added on Retail Me Not, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wow, this influencer drove 400 sales for us. No, it's just people that at checkout you had a coupon box and they just want to check. So give them through DMs, like DM me for the promo code. Creates kind of an exclusivity, and additionally, it allows you to kind of track the real kind of.
That's a really great point.
Yeah, so that's I mean, we've learned that the hard way, right? So it's just that, and so essentially after that, you track sales from there, and then you evaluate, like make yourself a 3 kind of criteria evaluation, model, and it's like, okay, was this influencer easy to communicate with? 1 out of 5. Did this influencer drive sales more than it cost us? Return on investment, 1 out of 5. Did this influencer create content that we can reuse in our paid media or in our Amazon listings or whatnot, right? 1 out of 5. And just identify your top creators like that.
I've seen, especially in databases, but I've seen a lot of 100% fake influencers.
Yep.
So how do you tell? Like, you go into a database, or if you're searching it out on, let's say Instagram or wherever, how do you know if they're real or not?
Yeah, great question. So the way we go at this is our model to go at it. We have tools to evaluate fake follower count. It's limited, Norm. I mean, it's just like, it might be very limited. So what we do is we look for a minimum engagement rate per influencer. We'll say, okay, like out of this bunch, we're looking for 2% engagement rate. If we're looking at pets, we know the engagement rates are higher. So we could, bump up that engagement rate metric. And then after that, we look at quality of content, because we assume that high quality content just has kind of authenticity baked into it. So if we see people that have way too high engagement, but their content looks like terrible, that we know that they're probably they're not passing the sniffing test. So we just get rid of them. So that's how we work. We baseline, we benchmark on a minimum engagement rate. Yep. And then after that, we look at, okay, is this content visually appealing?
Right. I mean, just a couple of things that we look at too. Are they emojied to death, or is it like 1 or 2 word answers?
Yeah, true. So there you go. That's an amazing way to see like engagement groups. If you look at people's comments and you see people are just like writing a single emoji, or they're like, oh my, and then you see the same words being used over and over across the entire comment feed, then you know that this is engagement group stuff. But again, right, it's just like, we try to think of it of like, okay, let's give every influencer that has 2% engagement rate and that our follower count a chance, and then let's see if they drive sales or create good content, and then from there we'll try to get them as long-term collaborators. So it's a numbers approach. It's a numbers game to me, and that's how we run it.
I have to say that I have to congratulate you on the way that you handled my niche, because you just said, like, you just kind of went, oh yeah, it's just like another product. Most people would kind of, what?
Yeah, I mean, it is, right? That's when you do marketing for a long time.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it's just a checklist.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, we talk about different types of content that you can get, user-generated content. One of the things that you mentioned, I liked it. We don't talk about it enough. Usually when we talk about a influencer, a nano influencer, we're talking about, oh, give me a photograph, possibly a video, maybe some user generated content. But what really makes things come together is what you just said, getting them to promote it on their network, maybe creating a contest or a coupon code. Do you have any pointers on that?
Yeah. So contests, if your product is not contest worthy, give a gift card, like straight up. If follower growth is your goal, for instance, like some people are like, oh, I sell like a garlic crusher, right? And it's that's not gonna do a great contest, right? That has no value whatsoever to the audience of anybody, right? You garlic crushing kit, no one needs that, right?
Right.
If you sell, a high-end shampoo, then it's a whole different story. And you can run a giveaway. So that's one of the pointers. If your product is not, high net promoter score. Let's call it like that, right? For lack of a better term, is just, find something else that people care about. And that could be an Amazon gift card, or, just go in that direction. And contests will usually be a good tool to grow your follower count and get engagement on those posts. Make your product the center of that post. And in terms of promo code, personalize it to the influencer. That's a pretty basic pointer, but essentially make sure that they can do it. And if you're paying them, get them to buy your product on Amazon. Now, I don't know what the terms of use are there. You guys decide what you do with that. But essentially, I just get them to buy it on Amazon and pay them back through the paid deal that we have.
Oh, okay. And that was my next question. There are usually some terms or compliance issues when you are running contests.
Yep.
Do you know, or where can people find those compliance issues or compliance terms?
So the way we run it is we just have them tag everything as a paid partnership, just because that's the way we have to run. Use the hashtag ad, and then from there, that's it.
So just hashtag ad, and then
and you can tag yourself as a paid partnership. I don't know
Yeah.
if you know what. Yeah, exactly. So these two things, and that's enough.
So that's really important if you've never done a contest.
That is very, very important.
Yeah, you need to do that. All this other stuff, though, like, do you know Paul Barron?
No, I don't.
Paul's a great guy. He's been on a few times talking about how he has a swim diaper and how he's built up his brand ambassadors. So over the period of 3 months, he got 2,000 user generated images.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? It's
11,000 now. Over the period of this year, he's got 11,000 images from influencers.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. And the other thing that I really like about it, it's videos. Now, videos are a little bit different, but what he did, he got, I believe the story was he got some negative comments or something, and he needed to show that the negative the negative review was just crap. So he went out and he said, look, can you, like, influencers, I need some videos. He ended up over the weekend getting 30 videos showing that this review was just, it wasn't
bogus. Yeah.
Yeah, it was bogus. And, it's just when you start to build up and you build up those relationships, it's great. Like this, Paul goes out, Paul's probably listening, but, and his head's probably like this right now. But anyways, Paul actually treats his influencers incredibly, incredibly well. It's part of his marketing team. He will gather, like if he's in Southern California, he'll say, hey, if you're, part of our influencer team, we're meeting over here, lunch and drinks on us, and, the people will come and he'll pay for everything. So it's really cool the way that he set up this long-term relationship with the influencers. It wasn't like a one and done deal. And he's converted that over to a brand ambassador program now.
Yeah, there you go. That's the next logical step, right?
Yeah, so I love it. And maybe let's get into that. What is the difference between an influencer to a brand ambassador?
Like an ambassador gives a crap about your brand, and they're working with you long term, right? And it becomes less transactional, more relational. That's the nuance. That's the way we see it. And you can give them a special name, but essentially an ambassador will reactivate on an ongoing basis, right? We will reactivate every month, every 2 months, whatever it is, right? And yeah, that's how I distinguish them, and that's where the cutoff is. But that's great. What Paul did is fantastic. Just built a relationship. And I was actually on a webinar this morning, and it's like these people become better customers of your brand. Usually they'll buy more from you than they used to buy, because they feel like they're part of something. And that's just a motto, and it's amazing.
I forgot about that until now, but we talked about a focus group, and I forgot Paul mentioning this, but he was bringing out a new package for his product, and he just sent it out and just said, hey, what do you think about this? Any input? And he did get a bunch of free input. People just sent him information because this is his brand ambassador group. This is his real trusted, confidential group that live for the brand. You know, how, poopy diapers. I don't know how much brand living you can do, but if you're a mommy blogger or if you've got a new child and you're a blogger, hey, that could be great for you. And it's not like there's a influencer niche for everything, isn't there?
There is, and there are products that are much more identity driven. These are even better. If you step away from the commodity status and you're like, I think of gardening, right, as one of those niches where you can create a focus group, not a focus group, a Facebook group with all people that bought your product. And you can bet that they're going to interact with one another because people that are into gardening are into gardening. They can share tips, they can share tricks. They just love that community thing. And same thing with bird watching and whatever. There's so many niches out there. Pets, right? Identity driven stuff just crushes it. But there is a niche for everything. There is an influencer for everything.
And the interesting part about that niche, so let's say that you're going into pets or gardening. So you're into gardening, but now you can go deeper into gardening. Now it might be spring gardens, spring flowers. I don't know. I don't know anything about gardening.
Hydroponic,
and dive even deeper and deeper into each one. So it's a very minute niche, and you might have a much smaller group of influencers, but these are people that are really passionate and know what they're talking about. And who was it the other day? We had somebody on the podcast. Oh, Stephen Black, saying that you get into these groups and you start to understand the tone of how people talk. And these influencers, when they create content or posts or whatever they're doing for you, you get to hear what they're talking about.
Yeah, that resonates with me so much. We had this one client that was selling men underwear, right? And we like two targetings, right? The man, the woman, right? Women buying underwear for their husband in this case. And it's just like, hey, tell us your boxer story, right? And we just had these women telling us about in their own words. And that's the most important thing about, their husband's underwear and how, he's not capable of buying new underwear and is cheap on that and so forth. Right. And we just ended up, and I'm not saying it, I'm not making justice to the tone that was used. And it was like, and then it was a revelation at that point of that, other like qualitative market research is like, holy cow, they speak our audience's language word for word perfectly because they talk to them every day on their social media. And it was like, we can use this in our paid ads. We can use this as our copywriting. And then you don't need to kind of, okay, how would the end customer like this to be said, right? We have it like word for word. We can even put quotation marks on it, and then make it a quote in the ad and ask the influencer if it's okay that we use it and so forth, right? And that was huge revelation. So yeah, like you said, they talk the audience's words, and that's extremely important.
So I just want to remind people that we have an incredible giveaway. Really, it's just access to David's massive database. It's an $80 a month giveaway for the year, so it's $960, $1,000 he's handing out today. And that's just hashtag Wheel of Kelsey, tag two people, and you'll have a second entry. The other thing, it's that time. Kelsey, we need a word from our sponsor. Kelsey, hit that button.
All right, just a second.
Hit the bloody button. Kelsey, do your job. Hit.
Here we go.
Thank you, Z.co, for sponsoring this episode of Lunch with Norm. Are you looking to take your e-commerce business from local to global? You can with the help of Z and their brand new app. That's right. You can track live shipments with push notifications, get detailed lead times for each stage of your shipment, and store all compliance and VAT reclaim documents in the palm of your hand, all while listening to Lunch with Norm. Ready to expand your e-com empire and take your Amazon FBA business global? Use the link in the description to learn more about Z's new app that's now available on desktop and mobile. That's Z.co, ZEE.co. Usually Kelsey does that just to make me look stupid. He'll just pause for that extra couple of seconds, and we both are just like deers in a headlight. But anyway, oh my gosh, he's not getting paid this week. All right, so Let's talk about expectations and managing expectations. What to expect, what not to expect.
Yeah. So in terms of what to expect, right?
Yeah.
Making this first of all, let me start with the, what not to expect. Making this a sales channel is a long-term effort. This is not a Facebook ad you're turning on, and even arguably Facebook ad isn't that type of channel, but you're not getting the kind of, you need to build it. You need to understand positioning. You need to understand, again, build that relationship with these influencers that become kind of your VVIPs, right? The people that are going to be your trustees, the people that are going to be advocating for your brand. You need to build rapport with them, and that takes time. And the more you have rapport with them, the more they have rapport with their audience in regards to your product. So it is a long-term effort. What to expect is, I mean, terrible content. You're going to get people that are going to, that's the thing that we tell all of our clients when we start, is like, we're going to get bad content. Like, it's going to happen. Just stick with us here. Like, not all these creators are going to create a good piece of content. We can ask for feedback, but we're going to get gems, right? We play for those gems. We play for those videos that are going to be like, whoa, like, we couldn't have even storyboarded this. And, here it is in our Google Drive folder, and all of our marketing team can use it. So that's really it. I mean, a lot of influencers are going to be much better than their peers. And and multiple reasons for that. They care about your product, it's right up what they need right now, whatever. There's tons of reasons for what, and these influencers you want to retain. And that's like, what you can expect is that there's going to be some killer influencers that are going to be amazing at this thing, and you want to work with them long-term, ongoing. And that's just where it comes in. So that's kind of how you set the expectation to a realistic kind of tone, is like, okay, well, we're not. And to be clear, let me put this in, Norm, because I just want to make sure that people understand that YouTube and Instagram are very different. And YouTube, in terms of an influencer, there's two ways of sponsoring a YouTube video, right? You can have a dedicated video to your product, or you can have a kind of insert inside the YouTube as a sponsorship. And kind of like a podcast sponsorship, that is a media by play. So very different from the relationship you're creating with your nano micro influencers, soon to become ambassadors. I just want to make that clarification, because YouTube is just like a different category where I'm essentially just buying your eyeballs that you're getting, right? That's what I'm buying. That's what your sponsors are buying, and that's it, right? And very important to distinguish that. Don't go into the relationship with your Instagram influencers thinking it's a media buy play, because it's not, just to be clear.
All right. And you were talking about these really great influencers or great images or videos.
Yep.
Some of the times, like, on Amazon, there's something called an Amazon post. You probably, don't know about that.
Nope,
but
I don't know what that is.
It's Amazon social media, and you can create like these images from the influencers. You can put them out, and you can repurpose it on your social media, but you can also put it onto your Amazon posts, which is great. I mean, that Amazon is trying to build brands and communities around brands. But what we found out, this is crazy, that sometimes the best, like, you think, oh, wow, this is like professional photography. The person couldn't script it better. I would have paid a ton for this. And then you've got this one that's, some moron silhouetting himself, and you can't even see the product. All of a sudden, that's got more engagement than the other.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another thing, right? That's another thing. You don't know, like,
you don't know.
If you've ever run any Facebook ads, the baseline is test everything, because your taste might be completely off. So just test everything.
I found that so many times. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So anyways, I just thought I'd bring that across.
I think that's spot on. And I think, to me, I explain that phenomenon through ad blindness, right? People, when it's too well produced, just become blind to it, skip it automatically. And when it's, homemade, homegrown type of thing, then people give it more attention.
So I'm kind of curious with the listeners. Have you used influencers? Just kind of curious how it went for you. Now, with influencers, any of them, any of the types, so you go right up to the celebrities. Are there ways? Should you be looking for an influencer that could be a general influencer? Let's say, and I know this is big bucks, but let's say it's the Kardashian, where they'll, if they like it, they'll throw it up there. Very little engagement. You know, I don't know how much trust there is, but anyways, they do anything, right? It could be anything where you can niche it down, and you could be very, very, very specific to gourmet bully sticks, you know, somebody that's targeting those. Should you look for both? Like when you're doing a nano, let's be more realistic, not Kim Kardashian, but let's say it's a nano or micro influencer, and they're general. You go to their site and you see general products, not a specific niche. Does that matter?
Yeah, I think it matters a lot, especially if relevance is important to your product. You know, I wouldn't trust Kim Kardashian for my barbecue choice, but you know, grill with Norm. If you had a grilling page, right, I'd trust that a lot more, and not just relevance. But if you're a lifestyle product and you're very general and have many very big total addressable market, then it can make sense to go general. Again, these products that we use every day make sense, can be beverages, whatnot. And that's really the difference. I would, if your product needs relevance, then I would definitely stick to people that are relevant. And if your product is general, then you can extend that reach. But having said that, the low hanging fruit is always going to be the people that have your exact audience as their audience.
Another really good point. So, Kelsey, I'm kind of curious, the questions. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch.
Yeah, we definitely have some questions coming in. This one just came in, and I think is kind of interesting, from Nathan. What do you need on your account before starting with influencers? Like, how many posts should you have? How many followers? Is that important, or can you go in?
So here's the thing, right? For all social proofing that you don't have, you're gonna have to pay dollars. Like, that's just how I see it. If your brand isn't like, let's start with this concept, Norm. It's just, if your brand is a brand that the influencer wants to work with. I'm talking like, let's take Nordstrom, right? Let's take a huge brand like that, and then for them, it's extremely easy to get. It's dumb, right? But that's kind of how it is. It's extremely easy for them to get collaborations on the cheaper side, because the influencer, this is a bilateral relationship. The influencer gets to flex the fact that they've worked with a big, cool brand, right? So very important. So to answer that question, Nathan, is really like, build as much social proofing as you can. Make sure the content looks great. Make sure your brand looks polished. And these things are going to save you a lot of money, and will get a better endorsement from the influencer while you're working with them. So say 1,000 followers is probably more than enough. You don't need to have 100,000 followers. It's going to help, right? Because the influencers, you can then reshare them on your page to get visibility and so forth. So you can add that to your negotiation process and make it 10 posts, right? But make sure those posts look good. Don't just make your brand look cool. Like, I mean, that's what you need to do. The influencers are going to judge you based on what your brand looks like. And if you look like a drop shipping kind of website, then it's not going to cut it. You're not going to get good influencers. And then, just to give you just a clear answer of, like, number of, get a good profile picture, right? Make it look nice. And then pin some cool stories on top of there, right? And as soon as you get influencer content, pin those stories there. Make sure that the influencers see them when they come there. And yeah, that's essentially how I'd go at it. But social proofing is going to save you a bunch of money.
This is something that not only for influencers, but we say this for anything. And we talk about this Amazon listing. You have an Amazon listing, and if it looks really good or if it looks really crappy, will determine whether you get a sale. If it looks really great and the price is in line, what are you going to do? You're going to go and you're going to click off of it, because nobody knows a micro brand. They're going to go over to Google. They're going to search you. And if they see you're on social media, they're going to check out your brand. Is it consistent with your Amazon listing? Is your website consistent? Do you have any content out there? Like, the way that we always talk about it is, you have to become the authority, or it has to, at least, authority equals trust. Your trust is your brand consistency. And those two things will equal sales. If you don't have it, people are going to click off of it, because like you said, if it looks like it's a drop shipper or some website that was made in 1997, you're going to lose trust. People will think it's a scam or crap.
And that's just how it is, right? That's just how it is. And we have like the other day, we realized that, one of our Google My Business listing only had 3 reviews. It's like, well, we need to write to clients to get those 3 reviews up, because again, it's like the buyer's journey. If you're buying an agency or a $100 product on Amazon is the same. You don't just go linearly through it without, going to check for, well, potentially $100 you might, but like for bigger products, you don't go linearly through the kind of buyer's journey. You're going to go check YouTube videos, see what it does. Are these headphones any good? What does Google say about them? Right. And so forth. So it becomes really important to have that consistency across. It's not siloed by any means. And that's just one of those plus ones you add to your brand.
Right. Okay, Kels, next question.
All right, this one is from Rad. How do you pay your influencers? Is it a percentage, flat fee? Is it something you work with the influencer with?
Yeah, that's something we work with the influencer. So, it can be a percentage, it can be a flat fee. Really depends. What is your product worth? What is it worth in the eyes? Like there's perceived value and real value. If like kids clothing, let me give you an example of kids clothing, right? Kids clothing for a mother is essentially the same as getting cold hard money, because they're going to need kids clothing, right? Is it a must have for them, or is it a nice to have? In that case, you can get away with giving product and probably not paying as much in flat fees. If your product has less of that, and then it can become like flat fee is a thing. Then percentage, I'd go with percentage in a more long-term partnership way. You see an influencer is bringing in sales, because here's one thing. If your influencer is bringing you $40 of sales on a post, like you don't want to pay them out a $6 commission. That's kind of dumb, right? It kind of give them more product at that point, right? It's going to make them feel better. And then same thing with $200, right? You're going to end up paying them a $30 commission, right? Which seems very low. So if your influencers are driving good amount of sales, and what I recommend is give them an affiliate kind of offering that they can promote to their following. So that's how we go at it. Case by case it as much as you can, get a pulse for it. Remember that influencers are being pitched all the time by people like, hey, we want to work on a performance only basis. So I recommend you be respectful of that and offer at the very least, a minimum flat fee. It can be $20, $50. Just show that, you're not all about performance, and it's going to make it easy think about it as a relationship again, right? It's just the same thing. It's always a relationship you're trying to build and build from there.
Yeah, one other thing, you were just mentioning this about how you interact. Check your egos at the door.
Yeah, 100%.
We're all entrepreneurs, we're passionate, but check your egos at the door. And remember, turn it around. Make the influencer feel special about working with you.
Yeah, that I can't agree more with that. That's check your ego at the door. They could care less about your product, most likely. Tell the narrative, and go the extra mile, right? If they want to get on a call, build that relationship, build that rapport. Like we get on calls with influencers all the time because we realize, okay, this just builds a lot of value for our clients because we talk to them, and it just makes them feel like they're part of something bigger, like we discussed earlier.
Right. All right, Kels.
All right. The next question is from Jessica Rabbit. How do you approach an influencer to work for you? Do you request or demand exclusivity for your niche from them?
Yeah, so exclusivity is one of those topics. We don't ask for exclusivity upfront on a one collaboration basis. It's asking a lot, right? You're like, hey, we have this dog product, you don't know us, but work with us, and we want you to not work with any other dog brands. Like at the end of the day, if you look at it like that, it doesn't make much sense for the influencer, and they're just gonna charge you a massive premium for that exclusivity because they're gonna, like, if they have a dog, all the brands that approach them are probably treats or toys brands. Like I know there's, or maybe pet insurance, right? There's not many categories. So don't ask for exclusivity. But Jessica, exclusivity can definitely become a topic if you're onboarding them on a long-term basis, right? And at that point, exclusivity doesn't have to be contractual. If they are loyal to your brand, they're not going to start and post other random brands. Like if they're a brand ambassador and every month they receive something from you, don't expect them to go and promote other brands that are your competitors. That's like kind of the soft effect of being a brand ambassador, but you can definitely plan for it legally based on your situation, but I don't recommend doing it up front.
We talk usually about some really success stories that we've seen, and these are home runs. These are not the norm, but we've had 2 podcasts where Brenda Mendez was on. She has Snow lip balm, Snow
Yep.
gloss, and she grew that company with her partner from zero to $100 million, and all they did was work with higher end. They had the budget
Yeah.
for this, though. They worked with Conor McGregor. They worked with Gronk. What is his name? Gronk. Gronk.
Gronk, I don't
Football.
know.
Okay, Tampa
Yeah.
Bay guy. All right.
Gronkowski.
There we
Gronkowski.
go. That's what I'm trying to think. I told you I didn't take my brain supplements, or did I say I did?
Yeah,
Anyways,
you said you did. It's okay.
all right. Well, they're not working, but she grew it to 100. She grew it to $100 million, and then we had Joe Martin on with BoxyCharm, and he did work with the Kardashians, but he had the product, the quality, the perceived value, and he sold it to Etsy for $500 million. Both of these people, when I talked to them, said that the only marketing strategies that they had, well, the primary ones were influencers. So can you grow a brand? Yes, with influencers. And I mean, these are special. They had the money, they had the investors, they had the ability to do it, but you can go at any starting point and start to grow, at whatever your budget is.
Yeah, exactly. And at that, if you're working these bigger collaborations, then definitely treat like if a collaboration is costing you $80,000, then by all means you can ask for exclusivity, right? That's just. But if you're working with a micro influencer, we're talking a couple $100 per collaboration tops. Like it's kind of doesn't work, doesn't make sense. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, God, these are big brands. I didn't realize that a $500 million to
Yeah,
Etsy,
yeah, for BoxyCharm.
Wow, that's a great.
Yeah, and the other thing I just saw from Simon, it's important. This is so bloody important, is to make sure that you have who owns the who owns the images, who owns the video,
that's
what rights
right there.
do you have?
We have the question right there, right? That's by Simon. Okay, there you go. Do you include a clause in a contract that permits you? Yeah, so copyrights super important. How do you deal with that? Micro influencers, nano influencers, it's pretty straightforward. You can ask them to reuse the content. If you reuse it in your advertising, you're gonna have to include that in there as well. If you repost them on your social media, please tag them. I think it's kind of insulting, even if the contract allows you to do that. Just tag them. Again, it's to build that brand equity. So we typically ask for unlimited copyrights and we negotiate down from there. If they're like, hey, I'm not too okay with that. I don't want to be whitelisted and you spending, $10,000 paid media budget behind my post. And okay, we'll negotiate from there. But usually they're okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah, especially the nano and micro.
Yeah, exactly. Start from bigger, then it allows you to kind of anchor the negotiation into a more favorable term to you. Then, the middle point becomes much more favorable to you in the long run.
Right.
All right. So speaking about contracts, another one from Jessica Rabbit, which I think is important. Do you use a template for a contract with your influencer? What terms do you include? Pay goes up with performance, etc.
2 contracts that we use, Jessica. We use an ambassador contract, and then we use an influencer contract. For the influencer contract, never or rarely do we. I mean, never. No, it's probably we've done it, but we don't do a performance clause in our base contract. Our base contract with the influencer is like, let's test this out. And an ambassador contract will exactly scope out these kind of percentage tiers and so forth. And then if you're looking to, you can go as affiliate contracts get pretty intense with how you can promote the brands and so forth. So you can take that as far as you want, right? You can say, okay, well, we allow ourselves to run this amount of paid media. If we go over that, we'll pay you extra and so forth. You can also say, okay, well, we want the copyrights for 6 months, 12 months, unlimited, whatever. And for the performance, you can, again, like usually that's managed directly in your affiliate kind of stack and it's pretty straightforward, but you can structure that however you want. And that's just like a personal preference. We have clients that are like, okay, we don't care about that. We don't care about the order value. We care about the new customers. So we'll pay you a flat fee per new customer. That's how we roll, right? And then like any affiliate program, you can say, okay, well, if you drive us 100 new customers, then, we'll pay you $10 more per new customer you bring our way, right? And that's just how you can do that. So it's really a personal preference. I think it's a good idea to do a pay that goes up by performance, allows you to kind of align incentives with your top performers and build with them further along the line.
All right. Kelsey.
All right. Another one is from Abu. Also, congratulations, Abu. He just
I
had,
saw that.
The newest member to his family. So congratulations. So we kind of touched on this
Congratulations.
before, but maybe we can dive a little deeper. What's your thoughts about influencers who do only product collabs versus niche specific ones?
Yeah, so niche specific, low hanging fruit. Broader influencers, nice to have once you've gone through kind of the low hanging fruits. Doesn't make much sense. We gave that barbecue example earlier. Kim Kardashian would not be the person that I trust with barbecue advice, but a YouTuber like that's got a grilling channel, even if they have 1,000 subscribers, could be, a good advice. And then, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we had one from Rana. I'm not sure about the first half of the question, but let me just. So here's the question: should we go for an influencer? I'm guessing with software tools. But how much budget? How much budget should we need? I'm guessing for like influencers. Like, what's a budget that we can go for?
So if the word is software, you fall into B2B territory. And that gets a little different and kind of there's a lot less B2B influencers than there are B2C influencer, which makes it not as much of a buyer's market. And that's the thing we need to understand is that micro influencers on the B2C side, there's a bunch of them. They are good creators. There's a bunch of great cell phones that take great pictures and so forth. So it's really a buyer's market. As the brand, you kind of have an edge on that. For B2B, it's very different. The attention space is controlled by a much lower number of players. So you have to think differently about kind of how you do your B2B influencer marketing in the sense that you need to, who are the thought leaders that are influencing the people that make buying decisions in your space, and then define that. And then after, try to build trust with that. I go on a much more one-on-one basis, try to get contact with them, talk to them, try to convince them we're cool, leave your ego at the door, get that, help them in any way you can, right? Can you give them a backlink on your website or whatever, right? Just find ways to help out. And then after that, build report. That's all based on the assumption that we were talking B2B and this was software. The word was software. So apologies if that was completely the wrong answer.
And this will be the last chance to enter Wheel of Kelsey. Tag 2 people and you'll get a chance to win twice. And it is for a huge prize today, $1,000, an annual membership to inBeat.
All right. So we just have a couple more questions. This one is more on the Amazon influencer side. Mm-hmm. So Norm, maybe you have more insight into this, but how do we find an Amazon influencer for special products? Do they promote it on YouTube and social media like regular influencers?
Yeah, Rad, Amazon does have an influencer network that you can work with, but a lot of the influencers that you'd be looking for on YouTube, on Instagram, on whatever, you could definitely target your listings on Amazon, like either drive people back to your store or get them to drive people back to your store. If it's user generated content, you can have a link going back to your store. Lots of different ways that you can use influencers to either go to Amazon, over to Walmart, over to Shopify, whatever you want. So I don't know if you have anything more to say on that.
I mean, curious to more pick your brain on this, Norm. I mean, let me ask a couple questions. Right. So we've been toying with the idea of Shopee and Lazada in Asia Pacific region, and they have live stream built into their platform and so forth. And I'm just curious, they seem to have a very strong, people actually go to the website to consume kind of content like they would go on Facebook. Is that the case with Amazon? Like, is Amazon
Yeah.
trying to create a content ecosystem, and are people going
Absolutely.
to spend? Yeah.
Yeah, and right now they have it, and influencers for like they have something called Amazon Live. So
Yeah.
Amazon Live is an influencer's dream.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
is it restricted, or is it open to any influencer?
I don't know what the terms and conditions are, but I can find out and get that to you.
Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, that's definitely something we'll need to explore, because I feel like we were looking at Shopee and Lazada, and they're
Have you looked
crazy.
at ShopLoop?
No. What is ShopLoop?
That's Google's influencer platform.
Oh, really? I didn't even know
it's
that
like
ShopLoop.
live streaming. It's just like the shopping network, but for Google.
Okay, yeah, for Google Shopping, right? So they're trying to build that kind of ecosystem. I know YouTube has just released some kind of live streaming, live shopping kind of into their platform. Everyone's trying to mimic Asia on that, so we'll see
Oh,
where
really
that
cool.
lands.
I didn't
Yeah.
know about that.
Yeah, but I didn't know about ShopLoop. Definitely, there's so many tools out there.
I
Can you
know,
imagine?
I know.
And I'm in this. Like, I get all the newsletter, and I missed that one.
All right, Kels.
All right, so I think that covers all of the questions. I did post a little comment in the Facebook group, and I think to the other post, but there's a really big story that's happening on TikTok right now with a guy named, I think, Kyle Sheely. But basically, he did this like viral campaign, or he did this viral video of him posting him with a meal. It's saying like he has a brand new meal coming out, and he put it in a gas station that has like a restaurant, and everyone thought it was hilarious, and people started taking pictures with it, and the campaign started going viral, like the video started going viral, and people kept going to this poster of him with this meal that didn't exist at this gas station, and it blew up. He got millions of followers. Like big brands were contacting him saying like, oh, I think you should do a meal with us, like McDonald's or Wendy's or like different restaurants. And it started getting a lot of, it's Kyle Wheely, I think. But it was a TikTok thing that just kind of blew up. And
yeah,
what
TikTok
happened,
is amazing for that.
So what happened was that the gas station Come and Go, they decided to do a meal with him, an official meal that they worked together with, and posted about it. And everyone was like super excited for it, thought it was great. It came full circle. But a couple days later, he just made a video saying, I'm really sorry, but this was an ad. And he never disclosed it anywhere. And basically this was his campaign with Come and Go to do this ad, and it just completely like backfired. I guess someone got word of it and leaked it, so he had to make an apology video, and I'm guessing a big lawsuit's probably coming because he didn't disclose
FTC
anything about it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
now, these are the things you gotta know. Like even if you're not sure about something, you can talk to a lawyer. Like go to Up Counsel, ask a question. Pay $100. But
pay $100. It's
you got to know this stuff, like, especially like when you're and you know what, we can't know everything, but there's ways of finding it. Either do a Google search, try to find these things out, but stuff like that could take gold and just turn it into coal. It's unfortunate, but yeah, it's too bad.
Oh, we did get a question. This is a pretty important question. David, how can we contact you?
Yeah, that's a good question. David at inbeat.agency. You can directly contact me by email, and pretty responsive. I spend too much of my life in my inbox, but that's how you can contact me.
And in French?
David at inbeat.agency, right? I don't know.
There we go.
David,
I just wanted
David,
to make that clear for anybody French-speaking audience.
We can run the next one, Norman, French. I heard you were from Montreal, so
Manger. What is it? Manger with Normand, whatever.
Manger avec Normand. Dîner avec Normand. There you go. We have it.
Those are my only two French keywords. I can also say mayonnaise, but that's it. Okay, Kels, it's that time. David has not seen Wheel of Kelsey.
All right, get ready, David. This is the Wheel of Kelsey.
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
That was such a hype.
It's a little extra. Yeah, we like to go a little extra here on this podcast. But anyways, here are the entries for today. Thank you, everyone. If you are the winner, please email me, k@lunchwithnorm.com. The winner has 48 hours to contact, or we'll spin again. We just don't know if anyone sees it. Okay.
There you go. We got a winner.
I'm not sure how to pronounce the name.
I can't see the name, Kels. Who won it?
Ionitz, I think that's how you pronounce it.
All right, fantastic.
So congratulations. I believe that's in the Facebook group.
That's $1,000 giveaway. So thank you and congrats.
That's awesome. I think that's the first time winner too. Yeah, so congratulations, Ionit. And yeah, great.
And Ionit, if there's anything we can do, write to us in a live chat and we'll help you operate the tool as best as we can.
All right. So David, thank you for coming on. Stay on. I'll be coming back on just after I talk to Kelsey for a second, but I want to talk to you about a couple of things.
Sure thing.
All right. Thank you so much for being on.
Thanks for having me, Norm. This is great. Great production. You guys are awesome. It was fantastic.
Hey, thank you. And right back at you.
Yep. Have a good one.
All right, everybody. I hope everybody liked the podcast today. Kelsey, who's coming on Friday?
We have Molly. It's Tritola. She's going to be talking about like giving back, using fundraisers, different things for social impact with your businesses. So if you're interested in running like a fundraiser or a charity along with your business.
Molly's a very interesting guest. This is we're just about to work with her on a project, and can't wait to talk to her about this. All right, so let's just have a quick word from our sponsor.
All right, here we go.
Thank you, Z.co, for sponsoring this episode of Lunch with Norm. Are you looking to take your e-commerce business from local to global? You can with the help of Z and their brand new app. That's right. You can track live shipments with push notifications, get detailed lead times for each stage of your shipment, and store all compliance and VAT reclaim documents in the palm of your hand, all while listening to Lunch with Norm. Ready to expand your e-com empire and take your Amazon FBA business global? Use the link in the description to learn more about Z's new app that's now available on desktop and mobile. That's Z.co, ZEE.co. All right, bearded wonder, beardless wonder, mustache-less wonder. What do you have to say?
That's me. All right. Oh, sorry, I played the wrong ad.
It's coming out of your pocket.
All right, here. Sorry, guys.
Thank you, Cellarize, for sponsoring this episode of Lunch with Norm. Cellarize is your comprehensive solution for your everyday business needs. Everything you need to grow and scale your Amazon business is just one click away. For more information, contact Diem and his team over at Cellarize.com. And remember, Cellarize is with one R. Oh, man, you're killing me.
There we go.
All right. So take it home, Kels. Take it home.
We're a very professional podcast here. But it looks like Simon is going away for 2 weeks. Simon, please come back. Come back after those 2 weeks. We'll miss you, and we definitely will talk about you while you're gone. So, thank you everyone for listening. If you haven't yet, please smash those like buttons. We do have that bonus Wheel of Kelsey happening for Friday. So if you are interested, you can just leave us a review on Facebook or on Google. You can screenshot it, send it to me at k@lunchwithnorm, and you'll get entered into a special draw with a consultation with Lauren, who's a pro at Facebook ads. So an hour of her time, you'll definitely see a pretty big reward from that.
I think
so,
she says she charges $1,200 an hour. I think that's what she said.
yeah, $1,200 for a 90-minute.
90 minutes.
So it's,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's pretty big.
So Kels, you're done.
Yes.
Let me finish, okay?
All right.
Hold it. Get off the screen. There we go. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. And a big congrats to Marsha for being our top of the leaderboard. She's our main contributor this month. And thank you so much, Marsha, for being there and being part of the community. And that goes for everybody. We couldn't do this without you. We really appreciate you being part of our community, and enjoy the rest of your day. See you on Friday.
Lunch with the